Alan McCoy, and it is my pleasure to open this meeting once again. I have a few things to announce and talk about, and then I'll hand it off to either Lindell or Jenny for handling the election part of this meeting. So, first thing I'd like to ask everybody is, have you seen any interesting wildlife, birds or otherwise, in the last month that you'd like to talk about, in addition to Lindell's shorebird observations?
I saw a long-eared owl on Mother's Day as I was traipsing around Eastern Washington.
I led a trip to Slavin yesterday morning and had 5 or 6 people with us, and we had a gray flycatcher perched nicely for us. I got a lot of photos and a recording they'll have to trim, but that was nice to see. Had a pretty good outing, actually. Some birds that, traipsing through pine forest at Slavin, you'd think we would hear or see a pygmy nuthatch, but we did not all day. Well, all 5 hours that we were traipsing. And I was more than a little surprised, given the prime habitat for a pygmy nuthatch. But at any rate, it was a fun day. Anybody else? Okay, it sounds like we don't have another comment. So the next thing is we have about 3 days during which we hope that you photographers out there will submit those photos that you have squirreled away on your computer and doctor them according to the rules of the calendar contest and submit them. We could use more photos. We can always use fun and interesting photos, and the calendar is all the better for all those wonderful photos that our members take. So if you have some and haven't yet submitted them, please do. We would like to have your photos to show. And one new wrinkle for the calendar this year is there will be some phrenology notes each month, and what those notes are things like arrival times for birds and other information, tidbits of information gleaned from Jim Acton and John Isikoff, etc. So at any rate, we look forward to the calendar and your photo being included. Okay, we are looking for a bookkeeper for Spokane Audubon Society, and if you have that kind of interest, we could really use your skill. You only need to know how to use Quicken. At any rate, we could use your experience and in order to keep our books, because Lindell has been, as part of her job as treasurer, has been doing that for the last 30 years, and she has other things that she might like to do other than keep our books for the next 30 years. So if you would be interested in that, please let us know, and we could use that experience. And I guess the last thing that we need to cover is elections of board members and the officers of the board. And on that note, I'll hand this off to Lindell or Jenny.
Well, I guess I'm the one who is gets to handle the election of officers. So Lindell is, I'm going to share my screen and then talk about how we're going to try to do this. This is sort of a new thing that we have not done, election of officers via Zoom. And so hopefully this will kind of work as planned. Okay, so everybody should be able to see my screen. Is that the case? Everybody can see it okay? Okay, I don't hear any objections.
Yes, looks good.
Okay, so so basically we need to elect 4 officers: president, vice president, secretary, and treasurer, and then board members. So there's a nominating committee consisting of me and Lisa Langolier and Madonna Lours. And so we have our slate of candidates for president, vice president, and secretary. Lindell has been treasurer for 30 some years and would really like somebody else to take over that position. So at this point where we were not able to find a nominee, and we would be happy to take any nominations from the floor. Self-nominations are more than welcome.
I would like to point out I had no bookkeeping experience before starting this job. I just balanced my checkbook each month. And so it's not rocket science, but it does take a little bit of time.
Okay, I'm not hearing or seeing any nominees for treasurer. We don't really have a game plan if we don't get one, other than, you know, the board. I would assume the board would meet and appoint somebody as acting treasurer until we can get a vote from the membership. Okay, so I'm going to proceed on with election of president, vice president, and secretary. So this next slide is going to describe a little bit how we're going to do this. So I've already asked for nominations from the floor. So I guess I can ask, are there any additional nominations for president? Speak up now if there's any additional nominations. Okay, vice president or secretary. Okay, so it looks like we only have one nominee for each office. So we will vote for the slate as a whole. And we think the best way to do this is by using the Zoom chat function to send a private message to Lindell, since she's the host of the meeting. And so your message should either be yes or no for the officers. And I've noticed that not everybody's name is really clear, like somebody's name is iPad. So please also include your name if it's not clear on the Zoom screen. And you must be a Spokane Audubon member in good standing to vote. So please don't vote if you're not a member in good standing. Okay, so if you don't know how to use the Zoom chat feature, what you have to do is hover your mouse down on the bottom of the screen, and then this bottom toolbar will pop up. And then if you click on the chat function, then you'll get this box. And then if you go to this thing that says to, you can click down on it and pick Lindell Hagen. And then you can type your message here, which is either going to be yes or no, or and with your name. And then if you just hit enter, it will send. So I would like to request that everybody now vote. And I'm going to unshare my screen so I can vote, because I don't see how I can do it otherwise. So Lindell, you should be seeing votes come in, are you?
You're muted at the moment, Lindell.
Yes, I've seen 6 votes come in.
Okay, so hopefully we'll get a few more than that. Everybody, please do vote if you're a Spokane Audubon member. So Lindell, I'll let me when we need to, when we're done.
Okay.
And of course, if anybody has any questions on how to use the chat or anything like that, just unmute yourself and speak up.
Well, so far the vote is unanimous. There are,
Okay,
I think, 8 participants so far. Oh, and
okay.
I think the 9th one just came in, so. We got 11, so.
Ooh, okay. I know there's a number of people participating in the meeting that aren't Spokane Audubon members, so I'm not sure how many. Okay, we have 25 participants, so hopefully we can get a few more votes. So please do vote if you are a Spokane Audubon member.
If you want to see those slides of finches, you better get going.
Yes. Yes, we want to get on to the finches. Well, shall we call it quits?
Yeah,
Okay, so what is the result? Is it a
it's
yay or?
it's unanimous, yes, for all the officers.
Okay, excellent. Okay, so now we will vote on board members. So the board consists of the officers plus elected board members. And so here's our slate of candidates. You can read them there. It's basically the same board members with the addition of B and Jim Harrison. So same procedure on voting. Use the chat function and either do yes for the board or no for the board. And again, include your name if it's not clear on the Zoom screen. Hopefully we'll have the same number of votes as we did for the officers.
Yes. Oh, the board response are coming in fast. They know how to do it now.
Good. Oh yeah, I need to. Okay, so I'm going to stop sharing my screen because I think everybody's got the drill, and we'll do it here. So how are we coming, Lindell?
We've got 11 board votes already, so that's just about equal to the officer votes. So
Okay, well, shall we move on then?
yes,
But I guess you need to tell us the results.
it was unanimous vote for the slate and both officers and board members. So